darling. These are for you, around for me, and something to bring about. Ramana Das has brought circles, people together. Music circles, dance circles, party circles, love circles. That's your circle. And the book that you helped me with 35 years ago is now in your hands. It's finally finished. Ramana Das is a butterfly image, if you could imagine the circle and the butterfly. He brings everybody together, and then everyone connects, and you continue to connect based on different interests, different ways of connecting. And that is where you both have been, sort of like braids, bringing people together all these years. And I've enjoyed so many different experiences. But the one you did tonight with Hanuman, I've got to share with you. Ramana Das did that prayer at the Gandhi statue inauguration of the ferry building. And there he is on the platform doing the Hanuman prayer, and there were hundreds of Hindus there from all over the Bay Area, absolutely astounded that this man was chanting their prayer and knew, this entire 40 verses of prayer. And I was just feeling very proud of you that day, and feeling that the joy that he has brought to so many different groups and so many different ways that you've done that. Personally, you have helped me so many different ways and so many times when moving in from San Francisco and coming to Berkeley and all the different ways that we've shared all these years. So tonight, I am so grateful for our friendship, for being like brother and sister, and seeing all the other brothers and sisters that you have, and sharing always. And I just want you to be here forever. But you will be here forever, because we'll always be in your heart and our hearts.
This is a forever moment.
This is a forever moment.
Now you haven't given me your name yet to share with everybody.
Oh,
Steve and.
I'm Steve and. And Ramana Das and I go back to the 70s when I moved to San Francisco. We connected then, and Uma and Teresa, Angel Song is here. Hi, Teresa. And there's been so many different ways that we've connected. Hi, Uma. It's wonderful to see you.
It's okay.
I know, I'm just looking over everybody. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here tonight and sharing love, unconditional love with everybody and everyone together tonight.
Who is this handsome young man?
So my name is Mark Esther Power, and I met Ramana in the early 80s. So I think of Ramana as a hub person. If we're all interconnected, and we are, there are some of us who are more interconnected with more people than others, and he is a hub. He's like a network person. And I met him through another network person who's not here tonight, Patricia, also known as Michael Ambrisco. I consider Patricia to be a hub person as well. And so Patricia said, I was living in Tam Valley in the early 80s. I moved to Tam Valley in, I think, 1980. Patricia said, you gotta meet this guy, Ramana. He's throwing some parties, and come over to his house, and he's a cool guy. And so I came over to your house, and there are a couple of times that stand out. I've been to your house in Mill Valley, and I've also been to your house in Terra Linda. But when I was 28 years old, you were 56, as I recall, and I think it might have even been your 56th birthday party. And you told me the significance of the 7-year cycles, and I remember that. And I remember you telling me that you did these drum things at your house every week, no matter where you were. Every week, you would do your session. You would play the harmonium and chant and play drums and sing. And I thought that is just so amazing. And then years later, my wife and I, we went on our honeymoon into Hawaii, and we were on the beach. I think it was Little Beach in Hawaii, or one of those beaches in Maui. And lo and behold, we run into Ramana and Marilena just on the beach. What? We ran into the airport as well. So we ran into them twice, just, in Hawaii, just because the connection, I guess, pulled us together. So you're a hub person, you're a joy person, and you speak what you think and what you believe. And a lot of people don't have the courage to say the things that they truly feel. And he speaks exactly what he feels. Not everyone necessarily agrees with it, but I think most of what he says is true. And he lives for pleasure, and that's another thing that I totally admire about him, is that he's another pleasure person. Life should be joyful. If life isn't joyful, what are we doing? So I tried to think of a song to sing. What would be an appropriate or perfect song? And I think of about a billion of them, but there's not that many that I can sing a cappella. But one that comes to mind is The Impossible Dream from Don Quixote. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave do not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know that I'll always be true to this glorious quest, and my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man, scorned and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable stars.
I met you in 1972 at a Joya event, and I remember you stood on a table, and I immediately saw you as Hanuman. I just saw you as Hanuman, and I knew I wanted to know you. There's something about you that is so special. I just said, I've got to be his friend. I've got to just know this man. And then at some point in my life, when I returned from India, I decided to quit a 16-year teaching career. I couldn't go back to being a school teacher of junior high school kids. And I didn't have any career to do. And Ramana Das got me started in the jewelry business. He and Uma were making jewelry, and I was marketing it for him. And I ended up having a jewelry store, Pier 39, and the Embarcadero Center, and an art gallery on Front Street in Lahaina. And when I was growing my jewelry business, I left Marin County and I moved to San Diego. And I left Ramana Das, and I was happily working away in craft shows. And one day in Los Angeles at a craft show, my entire bag of jewelry got stolen from me. And I had nothing and no career. It was like all over. And I called Ramana Das to help me, and he sent me $10,000 worth of crystal jewelry so I can continue earning a livelihood for myself. What a brother. A beautiful, giving, heartful man. That's what I love about you, brother.
Sweetheart, and you have to be thankful to Uma. Uma and I created this business together. She made it, and I sold it. The more I made it, the more she sold it. No, the more she made it, the more Anyway, we grew, in 5 years, we grew business to over $1 million in sales. We had over 1,000 stores, from Saks Fifth Avenue down to the the local shop, all over the country. And so thank you, Uma. And I gotta thank Uma also, because we have two wonderful boys. For those of you who have an opportunity to come up to the table afterwards, the altar here, you will see on the right a Silbey sandwich. A stack of Silbeys. Our two kids. And in between is a new one. Our first grandson, Mason Paul, who's just a doll. So the Silbey line continues to grow, and that really helps me to feel complete, knowing that the essence of who we really are, which is love and openness and joy and family, that is continuing and growing and on and on. It gives you a feeling of, okay guys, I'm off and running in a new direction.
Well, I have a few things that I want to say, but yeah, Burning Man. You want to know about Burning Man? We'll tell you about Burning Man. This guy, he didn't mind getting in a car. He would drive into the dust. He would park his van, and sure enough, he would be there, and the whiteouts would happen. We'd be tucked in our RVs and tucked in, and he would just be happy as a bee in his little car. So he had, well, he was like an anchor in the wind. I could always stroll over to where RD was, and there would be a smile for me, even in the whiteouts. So what whiteout means, you're not even going to see anything except for a few people walking through with the masks on and, just blowing away. But we sure did have a lot of fun. So I want to, on my sharing with you, which, let me, can we move the dildo and and then we'll have Lori. I think we have to have our special Lori. I want to thank everybody, all our strategics who really helped bring this hall together. Larry and Lori and Debra, wherever she went. Where's my Debra? There she is. Yeah, we just pulled it together. First, I want to say I love you for eternity. You and I are going to go all the way together. With Marilena and family. We are all going. We're all going together on this little ride. So as we were pulling this together, this poem came to me for you, okay? From the ends of the earth to the ends of creation, I love you. From as high as the sky to as deep as the infinite sea, I love you. We all walk to the golden gate of life, but it is you, my dearest brother, who shall enter into the light. Glory in the light of the radiant one. May your journey into the light be filled with the brightest glory, for I love you. Let us dance until that day, in the brightness of the sun, under the moon and the stars. Let us laugh and be joyous as one, because I love you, I love you, I love you. So that is for you. And I just want to share, a lot of people know Ramana Das for his sensual creativities, for his sacredness and diksha, but I have been there in the home. And I just want to acknowledge that you love your family. Family was the sun rising and the sun setting. So I just want to honor that. There's not a day that went by that all that he does in his heart is for his family. So I want to honor you for that. And while living with this beautiful couple that is so unique, nobody would ever say anything in the whole wide world, we would bust out in these songs, it would be like a musical or something. I thought I was living in a cartoon or something. It's always a song would be sung in harmony too. We would, because Marilena and RD would do their Thursday night chanting, you know, and so our little voices all tuned up and ready to go. So Marilena, would you join us in singing? You got to say something to your daughter.
Okay.
If I had a hammer. Now you can imagine, this is about freedom, so here we go. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out warning, I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh, if I had a bell, I'd ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh yeah. All over this land. Now I got my song, I got my hammer, and I got my bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, and it's a song about love between my brothers and my sisters. All over this land.
I'm so happy to see you, and I'm so happy that there's so many people I know here, that you have created this wonderful community and family, and I've been a part of it too. And I hope to get to gather people in parties again. I'm stopped right now by a lawsuit from neighbors, but I love how you have gathered people, and I remember you coming to my gatherings and singing the pagan songs. You know, I can't remember.
We're all God goddess.
That was one of them, and the elements one. Earth, my body, my blood, air, my breath, and fire, my spirit. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. And then what I want to say is something that was very dear for me when I broke up with somebody I was very in love with. I found that you both kind of took me in. And it was really amazing. And I'm thinking Christopher was about 4 years old, and I saw how you loved each other, and it was really valuable for me. And saw how you really wanted to, when with me I was being kind of a lover of sorts, but every time I'd call on the phone, you would.
A lover.
Okay, thank you. Then you would both be on the phone with me. You know, you were a model of inclusiveness within your own relationship and transparency, and I was so moved by that. And another thing is you've allowed yourself to be together in so many forms, like when you got tired of
sex in, the normal way, and intercourse and things, and then you were letting him play with other women, and God, I was just so impressed by your love. So I just wanted, and then, you've been the journeyer, and you did that too. Anyway, so I just wanted to say both of you have been a lovely model of an amazing partnership and love, and how much I appreciate that. And then your parties where you brought in together friendliness and sexual play and sacredness and the spiritual quality in it, and really honored that mixture and that blending, and so thank you for being such a fellow journeyer on this path, and I know that wherever when you travel on, it's going to be really wonderful, and I'm looking forward to your communications as well.
She's serious.
So,
Whenever you feel an orgasm in the sky.
So thank you, and watching classes.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we would like to have a drum roll so we can cut the cake. Marlena, you want to go over everybody? Yes.
I've just recently met my neighbors, and
This is Judith.
Yes, I'm Judith. And they're such lovely, lovely people. It's very special to be around them. And I always remember you're saying Yahoo every time I see you. This is like one of the things I wanted to write it on the cake. There was no room left. I put lots of hearts. But I just want to know you're so special. Everything is completely organic from beginning to end. And you're going to love it. And if you don't love it, then it's my neighbor who made it.
What kind of cake is it?
Sorry?
Chocolate coffee.
Free. No.
No, she says, dive in. So let's get a drum roll and have somebody cut this cake over there for us. Can we get it? Let's go for a drum roll. Cake. We want this cake cut. Who can cut it for us? Mark is going to cut it. He's our official chocolate. Now this is coffee chocolate, Chocolate cake. Dark, mocha. Yes.
And it has espresso coffee.
Espresso coffee.
I was a little bit slow on a lot of the ways of what happens in Marin. And the lady in my life gave me a really accelerated learning. And I wanted to thank RD and Marilena.
Who was the lady of your life?
David.
Thank you.
Some of you may know David because she's been in Hawaii for many years. And I'm still very good friends with David, I must say, we're still close. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that you as a man exemplified to me how a man can honor a woman, a goddess. And because I've had chances to be with you, Marilena, in a personal way, I've seen how you've always put the goddess's needs first. You've always been considerate. Whatever I've seen you with Marilena has been quite extraordinary, how you listen to what she asks, and you try to do the best you can to honour that request. And it's not always easy for us men because we think we know what's right, but sometimes the woman has an intuition and intelligence way beyond. And it's taken me many years, and I still haven't really got it down pat, but I realise there's a lot of respect that RD has shown to Marilena, and I've always admired that, and it's really inspired me. And I want to say thank you for your presence in my life, and really bring an incredible inspiration. Your memory will always be with you. And hopefully wherever you go, I'd like to join you at some point. We'll get to play some more.
Continue on with it.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Debra, and I want to say I adore this man. I look up to him. He's my teacher, he's my leader, he's my cohort. The first time I saw him was during an angel song performance, and I saw him walking up the aisle, and I said, that's a really cool dude. He was like a god coming up the aisle. And he's been amazing throughout my whole life. At the 25th Harmony Festival, he followed me around with a camera, and I'm trying to produce the festival, and he's there taking this, having me do that, and I go, RD, I've got to produce a festival. But he's taking this picture. But then a month later, he hands me this beautiful video of the 25th annual with me in process. It was one of the most beautiful gifts I've ever received. I still have that. And then also for 15 years, we co-created gatherings that were totally outrageous, that brought a lot of healing to people, that totally went beyond the boundaries. And we created our own world of love and divinity and sensuality that just was in connection with the gods and beauty, and was a lot of healing to the community and brought a lot of people together. So I adore this man, and I'm just so happy to be with you now, and I love you.
What are you doing, man? What are you doing?
I'm surrendering to the goddess.
Of course. So I know you about 40 years, and they've been 40 wild years. You haven't changed at all. You've always been about love, pleasure, friendship, and family. And I'm part of that family. Me and RD have been co-husbands, co-fathers. We've been a lot of co's. And I've been on these banks for a good 40 years. I've loaned him money for about 40 years. I've loaned this guy money. And I have to say something, this man walks his talk at every level of life. I owe him money now. It's the truth. I owe him money now. Anyway, all my love, RD, you know that. You know that.
It's a blessing.
He's my brother from another mother.
My name is Rich Davidson, and I say that partly because when we're with mutual friends, I like to say I'm the other RD. But the truth is I should be so lucky to come even close to be the other RD. And we've known each other maybe 30 years or so. I think we first met at maybe a Lori and Renee party. And we don't hang out. We don't know each other. You've never bailed me out of jail. You didn't take me to Burning Man. But the truth is, every time I see you, actually both of you, every time I see you, it's always a joy to see you, to be with you. I respect you. I appreciate you. I appreciate the sacredness you bring to life in general, to the parties that we used to be part of. There are a number of times when I've made love, either with a friend or myself, to your piano music. But it's a way to stay connected to you, and I just so appreciate you for holding this evening and being a part of it, and being a part of my life. And it's not just the sensual parties. I remember the times you've been to our house and we played, we chanted, just a small group of us, 3 or 4, and then we went for that walk to the labyrinth at Brioni's Park. And so there's the whole range of connection, and actually I meant if you hold that while I'm talking to you. And so I just really wanted a chance to declare out loud my appreciation for you from someone who hasn't been a close friend, but I hope a dear friend, and that's how you've been for me. Thank you, my friend.
They say a sign of being old is when you have to make a noise.